Welcome to SOLIDWORKS for the new educator. I wanted to put together tips whether you're new to teaching SOLIDWORKS or you have been teaching SOLIDWORKS for years. These are things that I've incorporated into the classroom, and I also, in this series for the new educator, wanted to introduce you to the hundreds of hours of curriculum, projects, and just fun exercises the EDU team has created. My strong roots begin in engineering education, where I spent 10 years in the community college. After industry, I really wanted to do something different. And thanks to Mass Bay, I was able to experience students of all ages across a variety of programs and help new instructors as they began their journey into SOLIDWORKS. Visiting over 35 countries, 1,000 educators, over 100,000 students, I have been fortunate to see firsthand how SOLIDWORKS has been incorporated into the classroom and such a difference it has made to not only the educator, but the students in their jobs and starting their careers. So today, we're going to talk about the SOLIDWORKS user interface and some of my favorite tools to help you in the classroom. We're also going to talk about the SOLIDWORKS tutorials. We are a global company, and with 14 different languages, these SOLIDWORKS tutorials help your students get started without a language barrier. Also, in the near future, we're going to talk about the SOLIDWORKS curriculum. SOLIDWORKS curriculum has expanded to include hundreds of examples, projects, design learning, fun activities for your students, and preparation for our SOLIDWORKS certification exams. With over 1 million SOLIDWORKS certified users out there, we want to help your students find the best careers. So select SOLIDWORKS from your desktop and the opening screen is displayed. Let's dive right in. Students today could be coming into your classroom with no knowledge of Windows because they've used other platforms. So it's a good idea to review the pull-down menu structure in Windows and also the icons. And although we support touch, my opinion, as you prepare students for that job or for the advanced classes, a 3-button mouse or 2-button mouse with a scroll wheel is very important to learn. The first icon I'm going to explain is the new SOLIDWORKS document icon. There are 3 basic building blocks of any product: a single part, which is a 3D representation. You put parts together and form an assembly. And if you want a 2D representation of either the part or the assembly, that's when we create a 2D drawing. I'm going to select on part and show you a few things. The graphics window is displayed, and this is where you're going to be creating all of your features to make a part. On the left-hand side is the feature manager. And here we can see the front plane. This is how you look straight on to your part. The top plane, like a bird, you're looking from the sky down on your part. And the right plane, this would be your profile. It's important for students to realize that they're going to be working between 2D and 3D. So where in this big piece do you begin? As an educator, you may have this graphics window displayed in your classroom and you want to review a part. There are a couple of settings that I really like in the classroom, and I'm going to show you those. If I select on Tools and I go all the way down to Customize, I'm going to look at the toolbars. And what I have selected, this is not the default, is use large toolbar buttons. It's easier for students to see in a classroom. Also, I'm going to select large tooltips with images. That way, when I hover over a particular icon, I'm going to see not only this larger bit of graphics, but also a feedback to tell me what it does. This is also helpful if you have students that are visually impaired. And I know I have had students like this in the past, and it just helps to increase the display. So now I'm going to select OK, and you see the settings that are large. This is where I got those large icons from. So you just got assigned to class, or you might have been a while since you've taught SOLIDWORKS. Where do you go? Without any access to the internet, my favorite place to start is the question mark or help. Here under help is the tutorials. So I'm going to click on tutorials, and now you display all the tutorials inside of SOLIDWORKS Design. And also, if I select this SOLIDWORKS simulation tutorials, I see hundreds more tutorials in simulation. This is where you can bring in concepts of physics all the way up to finite element analysis. There's motion analysis, sustainability, flow analysis, and it really gives students a great exposure to the depth of the SOLIDWORKS product. I'm going to go back to SOLIDWORKS and tell you about my 3 favorite tutorials. Lesson 1 part, Lesson 2 assembly, and Lesson 3 drawings. So even if you were told yesterday you're teaching a SOLIDWORKS class, this is where you could go just to get started. So I'm going to select on Lesson 1 parts. It tells me it's going to take about 30 minutes. And what's really great about this little tutorial, it kind of looks like a Lego. So your students are familiar with what the component is. And what is great, if I go to the next topic and I select on the icon for new, and I don't know where that icon is, the interface is going to start blinking and tell me this is where the new document is. So I'll select on new document, double click on part, follow the instructions. And again, if I don't know where the save icon is, it will tell me that I will be saving it to this PC. As I follow the instructions, first I get information about what I'm going to do, and then I am going to begin the steps to create the sketch and the feature. Working through Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3 gives students in just about an hour and a half a basic understanding of how SOLIDWORKS works. To me, to get that instant gratification quickly to the students excites them, makes them feel confident, and it's good for you as the educator to see those results quickly. So I'm going to open up a part that I have created. Is sometimes when you're teaching, you just want to give an overview to the students as to what they're going to do. And maybe you don't have time to do it yourself, or you did it earlier and you just want to explain. One of the best things that we have as a tool to help the educator is the rollback bar, which is here at the bottom of the feature manager. I can slide this up to display the first feature. And if I expand the feature, I can see the sketch that was used to create it and explain to students what I did with the slot tool as a sketch adding dimensions, making sure that it is black because black means that we're fully defined, bringing in design intent to make certain that this slot is designed symmetrically about the origin. Now you're tying in not only good technique, but also why are students learning about geometry and the mathematics in problems no matter what year, even up to the university, that creating symmetry simplifies the problem. So I'm going to get out of this sketch. My favorite shortcut key is Control-7, which goes to an isometric view. And then I'm going to show you the first cut that I did with this feature. I'll expand to show you the sketch that I used with the dimensions. And also, if I drag the rollback bar down all the way to the end, I will see the linear pattern. Parts are made up of features. Features can be sketched or they can be applied like a linear pattern. You first have a seed feature and then you use SOLIDWORKS to create the pattern. These are just a few of the tools we have right inside the product to help educators. Next time, we'll talk about the hundreds of examples in the classroom resources to help you either get started or supplement your class with what you are doing right now. So today, we talked about the SOLIDWORKS user interface, the SOLIDWORKS tutorials, and next time, we'll dive deeper into the SOLIDWORKS curriculum. Thank you for using SOLIDWORKS.